All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So, a very, very interesting day. Both of these two stocks are connected, all right? To me, it's very, very easy to get focused on BKKT, all right? 162% run. Look at the strength of that candle. The high of the day, $29.70 was the close of the day, $29.70 to the penny, right? So very, very easy to get distracted with this one. To me, I think it's DJT that's actually a little more interesting to me. All right. So it looks like they being this one, the Trump media, might be buying BKKT. So that's the going rumor. There's another article I saw where Trump is going to be talking to the CEO of Coinbase. I think that's either today or tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. And really, just looking at Coinbase, it's Coinbase, Bitcoin itself, right? Bitcoin is bouncing on the 8 moving average like a champion. It's at least holding it very, very well, right? I'm seeing the 20 come up, and hey, 82 is a little high on the daily, 75 is a little high on the weekly. I think what I'm seeing is we've established a very, very strong support at about 81,700. I even think it's arguable around 85,000, basically half of this big candle on the November 11th right there, right? So Bitcoin's doing well. It seems like DJT, the Trump media team, is interested in gaining some sort of crypto aspect. And the last time I covered this stock, and I still think this, right? My concern with DJT on its own was I don't know if more subscribers are going to be joining Truth Social just because Trump is the president. I still believe that. I'm a social media thing, right? Chart Readers is, and I don't see myself really joining that, right? Now, if Trump media can branch out to other sectors and Trump is able to make the rules in those sectors better, oh, all of a sudden DJT is more than just some random social media company. It's so, so much more. There was one other comment. Again, we're all just guessing here, right? We're putting educated thoughts out there. And one really interesting one was maybe DJT will merge with Twitter, with X.com now, right? I thought that was interesting. I for sure did not, I never crossed my head. But again, Elon and Trump are homies. Maybe they merge. Maybe Twitter buys out DJT for like 70 a share, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, this is amazing, right? Again, I'm making up the numbers. It was a theory that someone had, but that's what we're here doing, right? We're putting some educated thoughts and opinions on the table, and then we're using that to make our own individual decisions, right? So lovely, lovely there. But before we do go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There's at least one there. I think there's more. Yeah, there's a couple more, but there are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so, so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here, giving me your time, oh, I'm so, so grateful for it, all right? So let's get into it. And look, I'm going to repeat the thing I ended with on the opening thoughts. The last time I covered DJT, my baseline concern, I'm not here for fundamentals, right? That's not the point of my videos, but there was a lot of buzz with Trump taking over the presidency, right? And as much as it is very, very easy to include DJT in that buzz, I mean, the man's name is the start of the company, right? My concern was simply that I don't know if him being president is going to bring more eyes, more subscribers, more advertisers into Trump's social truth media, right? Um, I think this news that's developing today is changing my view on the potential of the organization. All right. If they're really going to start to buy out, and again, I don't know if it's going to be the next one. We're obviously going to talk about this shortly, right? BKKT. But the working rumor right now is they're trying to buy out this thing completely. They want complete ownership of BKKT. This is a crypto trading platform. If all of a sudden DJT can incorporate that into their business, Oh man, that's an interesting new revenue stream right there, right? And then from there, the next rumor and assumption becomes, hey, Trump's about to change the rules, make things a lot more lax. He's gonna get rid of all the regulation and the government red tape and all that sort of stuff, right? So if all of a sudden we start to believe that Bitcoin's going to get removed from the shackles, and all of a sudden we start to believe that the guy's going to make the rules a little bit better, and we're going to start to believe that his company has its own exchange. There are so many rumors in that right there that to me, I'm enjoying this 16% candle on DJT a little bit more than this BKKT 160 a 10x move, right? So just honestly, that's my thoughts right there on the two baselines themselves. All right, what are we looking for on DJT? It was actually some of my last thoughts on this. 35.50 is my money line for DJT. All right, that's basically what I'm looking for. What it ended up being was roughly this doji. Okay, so this doji it opens around 35.50. That's the bottom right there, and then it closes just about at 36. Maybe you can call it 36 if you want, but look, there are two moving averages right there. It is difficult to break one. It's difficult to break the 200, the last one, the biggest one, the strongest one. It's that much harder to break the 200 as it's compounded with another really difficult line, the 20, right? We've seen so many great stocks struggle with that 20 before, right? So you cannot underestimate all this resistance at basically 34.70, right? Between 34.70 and 34.80, that in that 10-cent window, you're battling two critical moving averages, right? So watch that. If it breaks, it feels like the next place is probably going to be that golden line. Look, oops, I don't know why I just clicked. I'm going to delete this line because I don't think it's worth drawing, but just look at it, right? If we can get into this channel, and again, roughly speaking, I thought the channel was about down here. Maybe you can raise it a little bit for risk reward tolerances, right? But green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 continue. Like this is a wildly fast channel between 35 and 52. All right, maybe it's worth waiting. Skip this next 10%, let it break, and then jump in from there, right? Again, I'm never here to say buy, sell. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money, right? But I love DJT over that 34.80 wall. I think to me, again, it's a little closer to 35 and change, maybe even 36, arguably, all right? I'm liking let's stay up here actually. Sorry. Look, the other thing to note is this is a pretty good technical move right here. All right. So we go from a very low 12 all the way up to 50. Okay. We race the RSI to a 91 right here, and basically at the end of it, an 86 right here, right? If you're looking in the box to the left over there. Um, that's a high number. That's a really high RSI. And I talk about healthy cool downs. And look, this is what a healthy cool down looks like. You go from the 80s to the 30s. You go from up here all the way down here. You don't lose as hard as it is to break two moving averages up. It should be hard to lose two down. And that's exactly what happened here, right? So we've reset the RSI. We never went negative with the MACD. Still have red over green on both. I'd obviously love the green over red to happen, right? And obviously, not obviously, but if we can get to here, I think that should organically happen. Again, I don't know the math behind these, but that's a fair guess, right? But the lines are doing the job. We've done the healthy cool down. The moving average is held. Bounce me over, take off. You can use two lines to bounce very strong too. So there's some really good things setting up here. Again, I've mentioned a couple times, MACD stayed positive. Excuse me. It looked like it was going to go. It did not. It just very much stayed horizontal. Hopefully we go back up. Again, I don't like red over green. Give me another little bit and that should work. Look, I think the one important thing here is volume. Okay, today was a good day, but today did not hit the 50-day volume line. Most of the movement came in the last hour. You can see it the entire day. Those first 6 hours were nothing. That was the whole thing at the end, right? So we need more volume. We need more volume. That's all that's missing here, right? The easy thing to say is, hey, this is a lot more sustained than we've seen in a good while with this. I think ever actually, right? That's not too bad. And hey, we've taken the white line from down here to up here. Man, I don't know if we're gonna get back up to this 160 million, right? I hope we do. This thing has the power to do it for sure, right? But we've been here. We've been in the 75-ish. We've actually even been in the 60s, right? So it's oh man. I mean, we basically I don't even need to calculate. We need about 10 million shares an hour, right? By the second hour of tomorrow, this must be around 20 million. All right? If it's not, we're gonna start to get a little worried because aside from obviously pump and dump stuff that people would think, and look, to get to 20 million in 2 hours, that's almost most of today, right? So big volume assumptions happening right now with DJT. All right. On the weekly, we are testing the break of all the moving averages. There is no 200 moving average. This is a relatively new stock, right? So if we can get over, oh man, this thing is knocking on the door. I love it. I love it. I love it over 35 something, right? That's for sure. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. BKKT. Okay, there's really two things going on right here. All right, the first one is the news that is the takeover rumors from Trump. I think the second thing is the strength of this candle. Okay, you can kind of say the third thing is pump and dump, and we'll talk about volume for sure, but like right now this candle is strong. Okay, this is a really strong candle. When the high of the day, if you look in the box over there, the third line says 29.70. When the high of the day is the exact to the penny as the close of the day, that's strength. That's people buying and buying and buying and buying till the very last second, until the market closes the door and says, hey, come back tomorrow if you want more. We're done today. You know what I mean? So that's a wildly strong candle. That said, okay, this you got to know the stock as well, right? Like this stock has lived under almost all the moving averages for most its life, right? This stock definitely has some runs and then drops, runs and like it knows how to run, but it doesn't know how to sustain it. Okay, sorry to zoom in and out so much. This has been the biggest volume in quite some time. I think just eyeballing it, it's easily the top nine, top 10, right? That looks like about 4 or 5 days. That's another two right there, and that's the third one right there, right? So this is probably the eighth biggest day in volume, give or take, all the way since this thing has started back in 2021, right? So big volume day, big connection to a very important person. Right now, there's two things I can guess, and I use the word guess because again, that's all I'm doing, right? I'm looking at these lines and trying to tell a story. I think we either fall. Is this my candle? No, that's my line. I think we fall all the way down to 1890. I think $18.90. Where's the line that I just drew it off of? Give me a second. It was that. 1880, whatever. I'm not here for perfect. It's the top and bottom of those. It's about the top of that. It's about the bottom of that. I like the candle. And really, roughly speaking, that's about a 50% line of today's candle, right? I think 1880 is my low end. Obviously, if we lose this, it will very fast fall to 14, all right? Otherwise, if this thing continues, if this thing touches 30, realistically, I can see 35 being the money line. If we break that, if we break 34.75, oof, man, yeah, I think those are our lines right there. I think that's the two legs up. All right, that's the two legs up, 34.70 and 47.60. Otherwise, it's 1880 and 14 down. Okay, I think the two critical things to remember here: there is no guarantee at all that DJT buys this. All right, all it was a rumor. People buy the news, buy the rumor and sell the news, right? Hey, maybe the rumor will continue. This wasn't a very long trade. I'm on the 15-minute right now. This entire move happened in 45 minutes, right? Big 15, big 15, big 15. I can see the next support maybe being 22. Really, I probably should have used this. So it's probably 25 and 22 before that 18. I'm not going to draw any of those lines though, right? Because we were using the daily and the weekly for that. But just a couple places you can look just before, because obviously we're all the way up here right now, right? Looking at after hours. I don't think this is a bad after hours either. I realize it looks like a big number down, right? We're at 160 at regular hours. All of a sudden we're at 130 something, right? That's not the prettiest. Is that a 20% move? Yeah, right. Because every 10% is about 16. Looks like we're down 30, right? Um, 20% down is a lot. Believe me, no one wants to look at that. I don't have my phone in front of me. I don't know if it's the top loser right now. Man, when you can run a buck 60 and you're only down about 20, it's one of those things where what are you going to focus on more, the strength of this wild candle or the potential fears of the pump and dump, right? So watch volume. We need 3 million shares by the end of the day. All right, that's the bare minimum. Bare minimum. Clearly, I want more than four, right? But if I need 3 million shares in a 7 hour day, we need about 400,000 shares. All right. I would love to be near 1 million shares in that second hour. If that's starting to look realistic, I think BKKT has a shot to continue. Otherwise, we have our lines down. All right. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Even if we disagree, hey, I appreciate you so, so much.